Hello and welcome. Let's talk about a pattern that many parents fall into, often with the best of intentions, but with unintended consequences. There is a quiet belief that being a good parent means always having the answers. It feels responsible, it feels like strength, it even feels necessary to maintain authority. But over time, this approach begins to work against. When you consistently position yourself as the one who knows, your child doesn't just receive answers, they absorb a message. They begin to feel that uncertainty is not acceptable, that questions must lead quickly to conclusions, and that not knowing is something to hide rather than explore. This becomes especially visible as children grow older. In the early years, children look to you for direction. But as they move toward adolescence, something shifts. They are no longer asking only for information, they are trying to understand the world themselves and their place in it. Their questions become more complex, and often they don't have simple answers. If we continue to respond with immediate certainty, you may believe you are helping, but what your child experiences is something else. The space for thinking closes, the possibility of exploration reduces, and slowly they begin to either depend on you for every answer or stop coming to you altogether. This is where many parents feel confused. They wonder why communication has reduced, why their child seems distant, or why their guidance no longer has the same impact. The issue is not a lack of authority, it is the way authority is being expressed. True authority in parenting does not come from always being right, it comes from being credible. And credibility is built when your child experiences you as honest and grounded, not performative. When you say, I don't know, you are not weakening your role. You are showing your child that truth is something to be engaged with, not something to be claimed instantly. When you pause and say, let me think about this, you are demonstrating a process, how to approach a question, how to sit with it, how to reflect before responding. And when you acknowledge, I might be wrong, you give your child permission to think independently, to question, and to arrive at their own understanding without any fear. This does not reduce your influence, in fact, it strengthens it. Because children, especially as they grow older, are not looking for perfection, they are looking for authenticity. They are constantly sensing whether they can be honest with you, whether their confusion, their doubts, and their questions will be met with openness or judgment. If they feel they must always be certain in front of you, they will slowly withdraw. Not necessarily in obvious ways, but in subtle ones. Conversations become shorter, questions become fewer, and an invisible distance begins to form. On the other hand, when you create space for not knowing, something shifts. Your child feels safer to express, to question, and to think aloud. The relationship becomes more real and the trust deepens. This requires a shift in how you see your role. You are not here to be the source of all answers. You are here to guide your child in how to approach life's questions. You still offer your values, your experience, and your perspective, but you hold them with openness, not rigidity. You move from being the one who concludes to the one who engages. And this is what truly prepares a child for life, because the world they are stepping into will not give them ready made answers. It will demand clarity, resilience, and the ability to think through uncertainty. If they have only learned to rely on authority, they will feel lost. But if they have learned how to think, they will find their way. So the next time your child asks something difficult, notice the impulse to respond immediately. Notice the urge to sound certain and then pause. Choose to be real instead of being right. Choose to be curious instead of controlling the outcome. Choose connection over the need to appear knowledgeable. Because your child does not need you to know everything. They need you to show them how to engage with what is not yet known. And that is where real parenting begins. Thank you for being here.